Hi guys, and welcome back to my living room. Today I got a very exciting video for you guys. I'll be reviewing actually the Omega Speedmaster 50th Anniversary Snoopy Award. And before we get into the video, I would love if you could leave a like on this video, as it helps us out so much, more than you could think, and for you guys it's just a click. So please do subscribe and leave a like on this video. And you can also follow us on our Instagram page. Now anyways, the Snoopy 50th Anniversary Snoopy Silver Award. What is this watch about? If you're not familiar with this watch, you might be thinking, why would you put a Snoopy on a luxury watch? I mean, that doesn't sound that great. And when I wasn't acquainted with the history of this watch, and I didn't really know what this watch was about, I was also like, I don't know, it's a bit weird to put a Snoopy character on the dial of a watch, or to make a whole watch about Snoopy. But then I obviously got to know the story that this was a few years ago. Obviously now I'm very well acquainted with this watch and I know the history behind it, and that's the most important thing to understand why this watch is so special. Now, apart from the looks that are incredible already, but the history behind this watch is way more important. So as you know from some of my other videos, the Speedmaster, the normal Omega Speedmaster, was the first watch to be worn on the moon. So that in and of itself is obviously huge for Omega and for the Speedmaster itself. But with the Snoopy, so the astronauts from NASA kept wearing the Speedmasters on their moon missions, on their lunar missions. And the Apollo 13 mission was the one that shaped that created this history between NASA and Snoopy, and then also Omega. So the history is that the Apollo 13 mission was a success up to the very last hours, you could say, of the mission. So when the astronauts were supposed to come back to Earth from space, there was kind of a big problem because the oxygen tank exploded. And what that means is that they now faced a really dangerous situation. To save the energy to get back to Earth with the shuttle, they switched off the whole kind of system to be able to keep the energy and use it to go back to Earth. Now, the astronauts had to time their re-entry into the atmosphere back to Earth correctly, because if they didn't, they would die. It's as simple as that. And thankfully they had their Speedmasters, their Omega Speedmasters, which is a chronograph, and so they were able to measure the time because they had a mechanical watch that was not linked to any electronics. It was simply simple watchmaking, simple mechanics that were at play here. So the astronauts actually used their Omega Speedmaster. So I mean, obviously Omega uses this a lot now in their marketing strategy, which is completely normal. I mean, who wouldn't? The Omega Speedmaster literally saved lives, and I think it's just such a cool thing that the astronauts were actually able, due to the Speedmasters, due to a mechanical watch that was not linked to the electronics, to be able to get back to Earth safely just because of a watch. And that is basically when Snoopy then decided. Snoopy kind of came forward and gave NASA and Omega the Silver Snoopy Award for this, first of all, the bravery of the astronauts in that situation, but also for Omega to have given NASA this watch that really helped the astronauts come back to Earth safely. I mean, it's for a reason then that the Omega Speedmaster in fact became one of the most famous, one of the most legendary chronographs in this day and age. And so from there on, Omega started doing a special edition for the Speedmaster, a Silver Snoopy Award special edition. And so the previous ones were already pretty cool, but this year the new Speedmaster Snoopy edition came out, and this is the watch we're talking about today, and it's simply one of the coolest watches I have ever seen. Oh, I also forgot to do a wristwatch check, so I'm wearing my Tissot PRC today. I don't know if you can see it. Focus, I hope it focuses. So let's switch to the other view and talk about the watch itself. So we have a 44.25mm watch, which actually doesn't wear like it because the lugs of the Omega Speedmaster, the lugs are still quite nicely fitted. They are not too long. They don't protrude your wrist in that sense, and so it doesn't really wear like a 44mm. The case design is the same as that of the Moonwatch, and we have this beautiful, stunning white dial with the contrasting blue subdials and the blue ceramic bezel, which is absolutely beautiful. I love it. And we also have a blue nylon strap, fits the watch really well. I've seen the watch on a stainless steel bracelet, that of the new Moonwatch as well, and that looks great as well, but I think the nylon look really fits the watch. And we have a sapphire crystal, which is a little bit domed, just as on the sapphire version of the Moonwatch, which gives it a bit of a vintage look. And all in all, it's, when you see the watch in real life, it's just insane, really. The colors are something else. But obviously the big thing with this watch is the case back. I mean, look at this thing. We have a super realistic representation of the universe with the moon and a spinning earth, which just looks insane. And then the slogan of the Silver Snoopy Award, Eyes on the Stars, which represents the pioneering spirit of Omega and which should kind of motivate the astronauts, NASA, and the whole of humankind to reach for bigger goals in space exploration. And I think it is just, all in all, a beautiful watch that incorporates the history behind Omega, behind the Speedmaster. And when you press on the chronograph, when you activate the chronograph, the little Snoopy appears in his rocket and flies across the night sky, across the universe, which, I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. Imagine if any other brand would have tried to do this. It wouldn't have turned out great. People would have said, what is this? But when Omega does it, it's just perfect. Then we have the little Snoopy, obviously, on the seconds hand, the running seconds hand dial, with the inscription of the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 13 mission. And look at the little Snoopy in his spacesuit. I mean, if I could buy this watch, I would be all over it immediately. It's just a cool watch. And as I said earlier, if you would have told me that there's a luxury watch with Snoopy on it, I would not have been interested. But when you see it, I think it's clear that this is just one of the coolest releases of 2021, if not one of the coolest releases of the last decade. Yes, I made a big statement there. This is definitely one of the coolest watches I have ever seen. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really have to... Now, if you made it this far, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and please do leave a like on this video. It's just a click, it doesn't cost you anything, and it means the world to us. So please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Ciao. Say bye. Say bye-bye.